Hi, Judd here, and I am going to make some pudding cake cookie bars. This is a recipe I got off of Facebook the other day. It looked interesting. I thought I'd give it a shot. I'm actually going to make two versions, one exactly per the recipe, and a second, I'm going to divide the batter in half because I got a small oven anyway, and I'm going to add some cinnamon checks, gluten-free, of course. Okay, we start with my trusty bowl and my whisk. Here's the recipe. And anything with eggs, you always start with the eggs. Okay, so we break up those yolks. Okay, and we want 3/4 cup of oil, and 1/4 cup of water. Okay, and as always, I add a little vanilla. Boom. Okay, so there's our liquids there. And now we add gluten-free yellow cake mix. And instant pudding mix, pudding and pie filling. Now the interesting thing, I got some at Walmart yesterday, and it turned out when I got home it was sugar-free. I don't want it sugar-free. It had aspartame in it, which is a toxin, a mental toxin. So I went back today to Publix to replace it, and they were out of the plain vanilla, so I ended up having to get the French vanilla. But I was also absolutely shocked at the price, and I'm not picking on Publix. This is probably general. 162 for a box of Jell-O. I think this stuff used to be $1. I've been out of it a long time, but that kind of was shocking to me. 162 for a thing of Jell-O. And now we just got to mix like crazy because it's going to be very thick. Smelling delicious. Now maybe I'll just get a spoon and eat this. Yep, definitely thick. On the video on Facebook, she mixed it up in a different order. But like I say, I always start with the eggs so that I can get them properly blended. I don't know a lot about cooking, but I do know that. Mainly from my days when I used to be rather famous for my pancakes. For which I have a secret recipe. I should make a video of that before I die. Or it's going to die with me. Very, very thick. But I do want to get it all nicely blended. Oh, it smells so good. This looks a little thicker than what she had. Somebody's got to invent a quick release on these things, you know, like a plunger here. You push to like empty it out. Spatula. Okay, yeah. We're getting it. We're getting it nice and mushed together. Okay, and we want a cup of chocolate chips in this. These are semi-sweet morsels. These are gluten-free. So I'll go with 1 cup of these. And go with the chocolate chips. That's a lot of chocolate chips. I'm going to be cooking this in 2 batches. One, because my pan is smaller than what's called for. And 2, because as I said, I wanted to split the recipe and add some checks, some cinnamon checks to this. So, you know what? You know, I think that might be too many chocolate chips for this amount of batter. I'm actually having trouble keeping them all in the batter. But we'll see. We'll see what the end result is, and we can always modify it next time. Okay, so I gotta wash my hands and spoon. Whew, there we go. Came right out. This is supposed to go into a 9 by 13 pan, and this is 9 by 9. Okay, now let's take half of this. Put it back in here. Another thing I'm doing is pulling it off the sides so I don't get that burned side thing. Good. Okay. I'm going to go with that. Okay. Now they want 350 at 25 minutes, but this new oven I've got, because it's smaller, that you cook at a lower temperature, and it recommends 325 for this. So I'm going to go 325 for 25, and we'll see what happens, and I can always add a little bit of time to that. We're going to cook this up, and meanwhile I'll put some Chex Mix in that batch. Here we go. Now we come back here, and I'm going to put a cup of Chex into here. Cinnamon Chex. So let's see how that goes. I don't know if this is going to work. I mean, the Chex are going to break up, obviously, which is fine. But this might give me more of a bar type of thing. I probably should have used half a cup. But if I can get a homogeneous mix, this might be a wonderful thing with the halfway point. I figure the Chex will add some crunch to these things, which are supposed to be cookie bars. The lady who made this on Facebook topped it all with peanut butter. The chocolate chips really don't want to stay in there. It might be because there's so much oil in this, relatively speaking. You keep hearing them falling out. All those little pops you hear, those are the chocolate chips falling out of the batter. Look at that, they're jumping out of the pan. You can see right there, look at all the ones that have fallen down. I think I'm getting a good blend here. Hear all those chocolate chips falling out? Oh, this is good. This is good. I got it nice, homogeneous, pretty homogeneous. But all the chocolate chips want to fall out. That is amazing. I can sprinkle them on top, of course. Yeah, look at that. See all the chocolate chips just keep falling out. As soon as they get to the surface, they're like electrons running away from the sun. Or photons. They don't care. They take off. Wow. Okay. I think the cinnamon from the Chex has definitely changed batter. Let's see what we got. Okay, well, they don't look burnt. They do look well done, though. That looks pretty good. Soft in the middle. Okay, good. We shall set those aside to cool. All too easily. So we're going to put the rack this way. Well done on the bottom, but not burnt. So those will still be quite edible. And meanwhile, we'll put the batter with the Chex in there. So we'll take this batter and stick it into here. Push this around. getting a little stiffer sitting here. Yep. That looks pretty good. Okay, there's what the straight recipe looks like. That looks pretty good, frankly. And we're still preheating here. So that'll be 25 minutes before we find that out. Okay, let's see what we got. Oh, they look good. That looks good. We got, yep, I like it. I like it. There we go. Oh. Okay, and as you can see, this one's a little bit more done on the bottom. I probably could have cut the time on that, and it is broken here when I flipped it. But we'll see how that sets up. A few hours on now, and we're going to go ahead and cut these. They've set up nice and firmly, although the chocolate chips are still melty. Okay, there we go. Okay, here you can get a view. Underside, top side. Okay, this is the straight recipe. I want more sugar, but good chew to it, and probably a bit overdone. Same with these. This is the Chex Mix one. You can definitely taste the Chex and feel them in the chew. You can taste the cinnamon, and you can actually taste the Chex. It adds a very weird thing to the chew. Not necessarily bad or good. It's a different type of chew. Yeah, it's got a good density to it. You're definitely chewing something. It's not at all cake-like. Close to like a medium density cookie. Not a soft cookie, but not a crispy cookie. Not thrilled with the taste. I mean, they're good enough, but they're nothing outstanding. I've had better cookies. But also something that will satisfy my sweet tooth when I need something. So, good enough. I think I'll be ruminating on some variation on these. One, I definitely cook them less next time. Just a little bit less. Keep them a little softer. And, you know, her idea of peanut butter might not be a bad idea. Let's try a little peanut butter on this. Son of a gun, she was right. That's good. Yeah, that definitely adds to it. Yeah. Okay. Again, even still, I wouldn't say great, but definitely edible. So there you go. Addendum. I had one of those cookies this morning when I got up, and it was wonderful. So there you go. Happy day to you. Happy Thanksgiving.